Welcome, friends. Hey, what I'd like to discuss with you today is something that I consider crucial, absolutely crucial for consistent solid ball striking. This is something the pros do all the time, and this is something that if you adopt, your consistency of ball striking will go through the roof and your scores will come down. Now, this is some really good information, so you want to share it with your friends. Also, subscribe because we got a lot more content like this coming your way. Welcome back. Dave, you said crucial. How crucial is it? Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't live without doing this on a weekly basis. I'd like to introduce you to my little friend, as Al Pacino would say. It's what's called a divot board. Now, I got mine from the Divot Board Company. There's other brands out there, but Divot Board Company invented this thing, so I go with the ones who know what they're doing. Now, as you can see, I use this quite a bit. Just to show you that I practice what I preach, here's what a new one looks like. So you can see, I do use it quite a bit. Now let me show you how this thing actually works. It's got a little bunch of flaps on here. So when you come through with your club, it leaves a mark like that. It'll tell you exactly where the club's hitting this thing, which shows you your low point. It also shows you something else. If, say, for instance, your line comes like that, says, well, you're swinging too far from the inside, you're swinging out to the right. By the same token, if you're coming over the top, you'll end up something looks like this. Now, what you want is straight, okay? Let me try one here. Now see, that's perfect. You see that the club's made contact just beyond the ball, and that's where you want to hit it. I guarantee you, the first time you use one of these things, you'll be hitting way back here, you'll be hitting way up here, you'll be all over the place. Point is, you will not be consistent at all, and that's the point here. You want to be consistent. You want to develop that same spot right there, just beyond the ball, every single time. Now, once you start getting proficient at that, then what's true? You practice, ingrain it in muscle memory, and from that point on, it's like riding a bike. Personally, I come out and use this thing maybe once or twice a week just to hone my skills, but that's all you need to do. Now, just for some clarification, what's the low point of your swing? Well, forget the golf club for a minute. It's your hands. You're making a circle. You've got your highest point up here. You've got your highest point up here. Here, you've got your lowest point. Now, what's your lowest point? Well, that's when your right arm is straightened out, your left arm is straight, your wrists have fully released right there. Now, that's where you're going to hit that divot board. That's your low point. Once you determined your low point and kind of developed a little bit, your ball placement is directly behind that low point. You want the ball sitting there and then maybe a couple inches in front of it. That's where you want the low point to start. And the reason for that is very simple. When you get down through impact, what's true? At that low point, like I say, your arms are perfectly straight, your wrists have released, everything's done. When you reach that low point, all that energy you stored and built up, it's gone now. Once you hit that low point, that energy is gone. So you want to hit the ball prior to that as that energy is fully releasing into the ball to compress the ball and just make it fly. I'll give you a couple tips here. One tip is your center of gravity. When you go through your swing, you want your center of gravity to stay in the same spot. You don't want to move it all over the place. Now, you can turn your hips, move your hips, do whatever you want to, weight shift, all that, but that center of gravity stays put. And if you look at this picture right here, that's an iron Byron type of machine. And you notice that circle I've got there, that is basically that machine's center of gravity. It never moves. Now, you have a center of gravity too. Now, it's not right here on the front of your shirt. It's about in the middle of your body, maybe up against your spine, But the key is you don't want that thing to move. You don't want to be swaying it back and forth like this, because if you do, you will never develop low point control, not in a million years. That thing's got to stay. Plus the fact that when you make your downswing and you're coming through impact, you don't want to be moving forward because you're just destroying all the energy you build up. No, you want to basically stop right there and let the club just fling through impact. You've got loose arms, you've got very loose wrists, that's a very loose hinge, and you want it to release fully right there at impact. But in order to do that, your body stops moving. Well, when I say your body, your center point starts moving. Like I say, you can take full backswing, put your weight on your inside of your right foot, your trail foot, and then you can rotate, come through, and that center point stays the same. That center balance stays the same. Now, if you watch slow motion videos of any professional golfer when they're making their swing, concentrate on that center. You'll notice it's stable. They don't move that thing. That's how they get all their power. Like I say, if you're coming through impact and you're moving forward, you're destroying any potential power you have. You have to stop and do that wrist snap. It's like when you've got a fly rod in your hand and you cast it. Well, you don't go, no. You take it back and then stop. That energy transfers through the fly rod into the fly line, and that fly goes flying out there a million miles. That's what you want to develop. Now, I will mention something. Well, like I say, you want to find your low spot and develop it and get it ingrained and so on and so forth. Now, if you're playing conventional irons, which are all different lengths, different weights, different shaft flex, require different ball positions, different widths of stance and all this other kind of stuff, different swing planes with every iron in the set, then you can't just develop one low point. If you carry 10 irons, you have to develop 10 low points because they're all going to be different. Bear that in mind. It's almost impossible to do that with every club in the bag. Now, it's very easy to do it with one club. So if you're playing single length irons like our one irons, what's true? You only have to develop that low point with one iron in the set. Once you've developed it with one iron, you've automatically developed it with all of them. And you certainly don't have to practice with all of them. You practice with one iron because every iron's identical. You're going to have the exact same low point. So keep that in mind, and if you want to improve your game, I'll guarantee you that's the way to do it. Now, another thing I want to talk about, when you're practicing with your divot board, you don't want to get up there in a place and take a full, powerful swing. You don't want to do that because you'll be all over the place. There's just too many moving parts. What you want to do is take half swings, light swings initially. Keep the wrists very loose as you can possibly get them. But you want to take basically half swings to find that low point. I'll tell you why you want to do it that way. Because initially you're going to miss all over the place. But when you do slow, then what's true? You can concentrate on every movement you're making. You can concentrate, okay, let's see, got my weight, I'm turning, got my weight on the inside of my left foot. Ooh, this feels good right here. Now I'm just dropping the club. You can feel that. And so consequently, if there are any flaws in your swing at all, they're going to become prominent. You're going to notice them. Those are the things you want to correct. And once you correct all that and get into a groove, you'll find that you'll start hitting that same spot every single time. That is so important. And like I say, once you've determined that spot, you place the ball just behind it so that your divot or your scorched earth starts beyond the ball. That's your low point. You want to hit the ball before that happens. Now, personally, I always play a center stance ball position. So I have developed my swing and my low point to be just left of center. It turns out perfectly. You know what? I want to say one more thing while we're here because I think it's important. You see all these videos where somebody's up there hawking this golf product or that or this training aid or that training aid, and then they say, oh, use the coupon code below and then you get a 2% or a 5% discount or whatnot. What does that tell you? It tells you the guy's getting paid to make that endorsement. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm extremely leery of paid endorsements. And this includes pros that are hawking different brands. I'm extremely leery of that. I don't get paid a penny for this video, not one. I talked to you about divot board. Like I say, there's other brands that make similar things. I don't know how good they are. I've never tested them. I can tell you right now, this divot board, in my opinion, is gold. I mean, in my opinion, it is probably the most important piece of golf equipment I've ever owned. This really takes your ball striking to the next level. But I'm not getting paid a penny to tell you that. This is something I truly believe, and I will never, ever endorse a product or come up here and go on and on about a product unless I 100% believe in it and that I use it all the time, and I think it's going to help your game. And that's why they call me Honest Dave. Thanks for watching. Like I say, share this with your friends because they're going to be interested in this, I guarantee you. And they'll be happy and they'll be better friends because of it. It might even buy you a beer at the 19th hole. Who knows? Hit the subscribe button because, like I say, we've got a lot more content coming your way. And thanks again.